Maybe movies. Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
Is that you, Sam?
Hello? Hi?
Oh, good. Is that my leg?
No, it's mine!
Oh, no, sorry. Sorry.
Did you hear someone laugh just now?
Yeah.
Can't hear it anymore, though, can we?
Can't hear Chris either. Is he still there?
There's an arm.
Chris, you alright? That doesn't sound like Chris. But I think we're okay now. Oh! Lights!
Chris?
That's not Chris.
Chris?
Hello? Are you alright?
Who's Chris?
It's the Moleman.
Who?
Hello, Shane. Good to see you again.
He's back.
What am I doing here?
Oh, where's Chris? You know what? Do you think Chris is the larval stage of Shane?
You cheeky bastards!
Grab a seat, buddy.
They've fucking done it again. They've changed my clothes without asking me.
Oh, yeah. I'm wearing something different now. No kittens this time.
I think we were right, though. It is
Spooky season.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't love a bit of spooky season?
Post.
We have post. More post. I'm pretty sure it's not a small pumpkin this time.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Okay, it would appear to be a YouTube play sign on a piece of bog roll.
Does this signify something?
Doesn't mean you can wipe yourself.
I've always been worried about running out of toilet paper.
That begs the question. If you don't move from these seats, how do you void your bowels?
There is a toilet, although that could be happening while we're asleep between months. So they maybe get voided for us.
I'm not sure we should be talking about this.
No, I think this might mean, though, that it's time to crack the drink at 100 bottle.
Have we finally done it?
I think we are at the bottom milestone that we can be.
We're at 100.
Woo!
Thank you. Oh, look at that.
Sniff.
Somebody must have known this. There's an empty glass waiting.
There is an empty glass waiting.
That smells like my dad's.
Do
You remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. I'll never forget that, Shane. I'll never forget that.
That was kind of viciously evil stuff.
Cheers. I know you haven't got... some tea. Yay!
To 100.
To 100.
Thank you, folks. Thank you.
Oh.
It's matured.
Just a bit, yeah. I should point out that what we're drinking here is a bottle of my homemade pineapple wine that I made last year. And I had one bottle left, which I put aside specially for as and when we got to 100 subscribers. So, first off, hello everybody at home. Welcome back to Maybe Movies with myself. I am Max.
I am Sam.
And this month we have a special guest, which is Shane Smith.
Hello.
Anyone who knows the podcast All You Need Is Blood will recognise Shane's voice at the very least. As it is kind of a special start to the month, no shout out for any one particular creator or anything today, just a shout out for everyone who has supported us so far and helped us to get to where we are. As always, as with YouTube, we did hit 102 subscribers yesterday and they've decided to take 2 away from us straight away. So if you do follow what we do, then please do double check that you are still subscribed to the channel. Apparently the best way to make sure that your subscription sticks is to watch a video of at least 5 minutes and leave a comment which mentions something about the video that you're watching. And that generally means that you won't just get scrubbed off by the great god algorithm.
So thank you for all the support you've shown so far, but please, show more. It really does help.
Yes. And with that out of the way... Oh, yes, no, there is one other thing. Sorry, before we carry on.
More?
There's
more?
Yes. A friend of mine from work, Harshit, who is a great supporter of ours, when I told him yesterday that we'd hit the 100, very kindly bought us a selection of shortbreads.
Luxury shortbreads, no less.
How he actually got them into Delirium, I don't know.
Let's just be grateful for small mercies here.
Exactly.
I want to know how I got here.
So do we.
I'm starting to come to the conclusion there are cracks somewhere in the delirium.
There must be.
Things are getting in and out.
Except for us. Oh,
look at them.
you can have those. I've got wine to drink.
Evil.
What are we going
They
to...
look deliciously evil. The thing is there.
They're all in shapes and things. They're quite pretty for shortbreads. Normally they're just little sticks. What are you doing?
What I think?
Okay, I'm just a little bit more disturbed than normal. And I'm disturbed.
And so we have a Shane. We have a guest, it seems.
We should talk about something?
I think so.
It is spooky season. So we should talk about something spooky.
Well, there are a few spooky things
Oh.
we can talk. Oh.
I think this might be a clue.
Vampire?
I'm thinking so.
There are plenty of vampire movies to choose from, that's for sure.
Okay, well...
Stuff like Salem's Lot.
Oh.
I
That's like the second vampire movie I ever saw.
Yes.
Or Fright Night.
The best!
Yes, this is probably one of the second films that I ever saw that Mum went, no, go to bed.
I remember watching that on TV and absolutely bricking it
Oh, absolutely, mate.
when Ralphie Glick is scratching
Scratching at the window!
Do you know
Yeah.
what? It still fucking gets me.
Every time.
Guaranteed.
Every time.
That's
Yeah.
the one movie that scares the shit out of me
Screech.
every time I was.
Screech.
This month we will be having a look at Salem's Lot.
And a little look at Fright Night.
And as it is spooky season, if you were with us last year, then you'll know we kind of changed things up a bit. And rather than swapping our heroes between movies, we are swapping our antagonists. So we'll be having Jerry Dandridge and Billy, was he 70s Jerry Dandridge?
Yes, indeed.
Setting up shop in Salem's Lot. And Mr. Barlow and Mr. Straker will be cracking into the 80s.
Indeed they will.
It's in New York.
It's in California somewhere.
Oh, okay. I can never
Pretty
remember.
sure it's in California somewhere. Well, you know what, I'm saying that. I don't know. I noticed that they mentioned the name of the town once, so quickly and so quietly that I didn't quite catch the name of the town.
I could give a shout out to another slightly more successful YouTube channel called the Grim Life Collective.
Okay.
They do videos where they scope the filming locations
Okay.
of movies, and they've
Oh.
done Fright Night and they've done Salem's Lot, and you should check them out on YouTube.
Okay.
We will do.
There you go. Got a shout out after all, guys.
Spider Phantom Hank. They haven't been here since the last time. It's you. They want you. So one very last quick shout out to my good friend Rob Berry, who actually suggested this one. When we discussed this, we'd originally looked at
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes, and then my friend Rob said, actually, this might be a better match, and it's like, yeah, it could work.
I mean, I don't see Charlie Brewster faring too well at the Tick Twister.
Not overly well. And also, Gecko Brothers in small town America, it's going to get out of hand really quickly.
Yeah, it will get messy.
Yes.
Let's have a look at acts first.
All right. Well, I've taken notes for Fright Night. I haven't taken notes for Salem's Lot yet, but I can roughly remember the act structure.
I've had more of a look at Salem's Lot than I have Fright Night, so we'll look at. We might as well see what each other.
Oh, okay, brilliant. Okay, yeah.
I had, because Salem's Lot is a bit of an odd one because it is essentially a mini-series.
It's a TV movie, not a movie.
Yeah.
I called the end of Act 1 the day after Mr. Barlow's arrival.
I was thinking the night of his arrival, you know.
Oh, okay.
Because the night Danny Glick disappears, the night the crate is delivered, all those things happen in quick succession, and then... But so I suppose that is the next day, so the beginning of the act would be the next day.
Because the night of his arrival is the end of Act 1, and then you're dealing with the consequences of that at the start of Act 2, which is the next day.
Yeah. That I agree.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
I'm a little less clear about where the third act goes.
The closest I could figure was destroying Mrs. Glick. Because that's confirmation of what they suspect.
Danny Glick's mother rises in the mortuary because they're in the next town over or whatever it is, aren't they?
Yeah, that seems creeps me out as well.
Yeah. I don't object to that. I think that's a pretty good drawing line point.
Cool.
For Fright Night, I thought Act 2 would begin when Charlie goes to see Peter Vincent for the first time. Because he's tried all of the normal methods and it hasn't worked, and he's gone in desperation to Peter Vincent.
And he rebuffs him.
He goes, no.
Yeah.
calls him a crazy little kid and sends him away.
Okay, that works. So what about end of Act 2?
For me, it comes down to Peter. It's when Peter comes back. Because Charlie goes on his own to the house at the beginning, or at the beginning of the end, to go and confront him on his own, and then Peter turns up and is like, no, I'll do this
he does
with you.
the test, doesn't he, with Evil and his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
There's an interesting choice as well, these two. Because from rewatching Salem's Lot, there's so many similarities. The Marsden house is so close to the
In a
Dandridge
lot
house.
of ways, yeah. And there's the bit with the minion on the stairs.
Because it's Straker, isn't it?
Straker's coming down the stairs, but they encounter Billy coming up the stairs.
It's so similar to that scene
Yeah.
in Salem's Lot. I wonder if they were deliberately referencing it.
Well, I think both films reference Dracula.
Oh, of course.
The thing with the mirror, which is how he catches him out
Yeah.
in the Bela Lugosi of Dracula, yeah. I know we'll get into this properly when we start looking at them.
Yeah.
What do we want to do then? Because with Salem's Lot, are we saying then that Jerry and Billy are setting up an antique store, or are we keeping that purely as something that Straker and Barlow do? That's their shtick.
It could be a thing, because, I mean, Dandridge's house is full of antiques.
Yeah, but also you've got to think of it like this. If Straker and Marlowe are setting up an antique shop in Middle America, and obviously Straker is taking victims for Marlowe, to begin with, it would also explain the disappearances of people.
Yes.
Instead of the prostitutes, it would explain
Yeah.
differences in people disappearing.
Because their plan very much in the original film in Salem's Lot is to essentially wipe everyone out.
Yeah.
Well, they want to take the town, don't they?
Yes.
In Salem's Lot. That's the difference between the two of them, because when I was looking at it earlier, the lore for those two vampires are so close, it's almost identical. But Jerry Dandridge cuts off the head of his victims because he doesn't want to spread, he doesn't want to create an army of minions, whereas Barlow seems to want the army of minions. And that seems to be the only real difference between them.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, this is going to be so much fun.
That is something we are going to have to discuss, because I like that concept. I like both the concepts.
So
There's more that can be elaborated on. I mean, I'm looking forward to doing the Salem's Lot part.
Right, actually, let's talk about this, because if... No, never mind. I was thinking of swapping protagonists. I was thinking of swapping protagonists, and that's wrong. We're not doing that. We're swapping antagonists.
I did that the other day. I was like, so do we then make this about Peter Vincent going back to Salem's Lot, and we have Charlie Brewster in the place of Mark, who's just living there? No, that's not what we're doing.
I was thinking that Ben Mears might move in as a lodger into Charlie's house to write his book.
That's not what we're doing.
But that's no, wrong. We're doing it all wrong. This is not how we're doing this.
We need to make a decision then. So are we saying that the antique shtick is staying with the plot of Salem's Lot, or is it moving with Mr. Barlow and Mr. Straker because it's their thing?
I think it should go with...
What, Straker and Barlow?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so they're going to open an antique store in Charlie's town.
Okay.
Because it's still a small town thing. Everybody's going to know Jerry Dandridge is the new guy in town.
Yeah.
So they'll still be talking about him even if he's not opening a store. Mm-hmm. And he's got a living.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
So there'll be all sorts of chatter and talk about that, won't there?
So I suppose the other really kind of plot point that's a difference thing is because Barlow doesn't appear until quite a way into the film.
Whereas Jerry is there right from the beginning.
Yeah, so do we want to keep that trope with Salem's Lot, that Jerry isn't there to start with and appears later?
I kind of like the idea that Billy would be like, oh, Mr. Dandridge will be arriving in town shortly. But the whole time, people are bumping into this handsome man that they've never seen before.
Oh.
He's in town, but he's pretending not to be there. Because then he gets free victims, because it's like, oh, you've never met me. Uh-huh.
I like that.
That'd be quite good. Yeah. I think that'd be a good idea.
Because there's almost, in a way, there's a suggestion in Salem's Lot that Barlow might have been there from the very beginning. Because even though there's a bit with the crate in the lorry, weird things are happening. More associated with the vampire than the minion, in terms of its scale.
Nice. So we have Salem's Night and Fright Lot. Let's sticking to our naming
I
convention.
think they might possibly be some of the silliest names we've had so far.
It's not as good as Sudden Eyes.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
We could cheek it and make it Fright Lot and Salem Night, or Salem
I
Nights.
was going to say Salem's Night and Fright Lot.
If you say Salem's Nights, I'm just picturing a film in Salem with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson.
For some reason I just had Eddie Murphy popping in my head then.
Harlem Nights. Yeah, cool.
Since the last time you were here as well, doesn't matter so much for this one, but when we get into these, thanks to Chris being here last month, we now officially have gold stars. For any good point or any interesting idea that you come up with, by panel's decision, you get a gold star, which we keep up until the end of the month, and then whoever has the most gold stars at the end of the month, they get to cast the deciding vote about which film is our maybe movie for the month.
Okay.
You seem incredibly nonplussed.
Me getting gold stars. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I had a funny feeling you wouldn't care so much about that. But nonetheless, they are available if you have clever ideas.
Although, should we get some black stars? Because it is spooky
They'll
season.
disappear into the background, buddy.
Oh, that's true.
All know they're there.
Well, yes.
The record to be so far is I got 6 last month. So.
Yeah, you did have a bit of a roll there.
Yeah.
Get her.
The last thing then that we need to decide is which one are we doing first.
Exactly, that
I
was
think we
what I was
need
going
to
to bring up.
do Fright Night first.
Okay.
Right, so Straker and Barlow
Yeah.
in Fright Night.
Get that set up
in
first.
Charlie's Town.
Wonderful. Hopefully my copy of that will arrive before the weekend.
One would hope.
Yes.
One would hope.
I'm not sure how the post is going to get... Well, actually, the post is getting here. What am I worried about? Awesome. So, we have our setup. We have our movies, and we know which one we're going to be doing first. And most importantly, we have our special guest with us as well.
Thank you for joining us, sir.
Who hopefully will not disappear like last time.
Yeah, that was awkward.
Yeah.
For everybody involved, yeah.
So you dipped your toes in, weren't too sure. Come back when it's cooled down. Or warmed up, I don't know.
Or when the bloody government stops telling us to stay in our houses all the time.
Oh, fuck the government.
And there's the rest of our subscribers gone. No, that's actually a load more, hopefully.
I did tell you.
So, please do come back and join us next Wednesday when we will be launching into Fright Lot.
Fright Lot, yes.
Yep. With Mr. Straker and Mr. Barlow setting up shop next door to Charlie Brewster. Until then, as always, have a great weekend, take care, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
As always, guys, TTFN.
Ba 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 ba.